We are going to discuss the short story The Guest by Albert Camus. Albert Camus was a French philosopher. This short story was published first in 1957 as a part of the collection entitled Exile and the Kingdom. So the French title of this is La Haute, L apostrophe Hote, which has two meanings, the guest and the host, which ties back to the relationship between the main characters of the story, and which also shows the ambiguity that is there in this particular work. The theme is that people must make decisions according to their own consciousness, and they must follow it they must follow through what are their decisions, they must follow it. So this particular work, the story is set in French Algeria during the Algerian War. A school teacher named Daru, he is torn between his European education and his sympathy for the native Arabs. So what we see in the story is that two men are climbing on a rocky slope. Baldusi, Balducci, Baldusi, and an Arab prisoner. Baldusi is on horse, and Arab prisoner is walking by foot. So yes, the school teacher Daru watches them from the top of the hill. There are no students in his school because of the social situations that are happening there. Baldusi is an acquaintance of Daru, and then he says that he is ordered by the government to take the prisoner to the police headquarters in Tin Pit. And Daru asks what the crime was, and then he says that this particular prisoner has slit the throat of his cousin just on a fight about grains, about food grains. And he also adds that maybe he is not a rebel, and he asked Daru to take him to the police headquarters. Daru says he will not take, and Baldusi gets angry. He makes an agreement, asking the agreement that he is handing over the prisoner to Daru. So Daru, even though he will have great consequences if he leave him free, he takes him down of the hill and then gives him 1,000 francs money and food, and tells that if you go to the east you will be reaching the police, you will be turned in. If you go to south you will find some nomads, you can escape. Daru goes back to the school, and then he sees that the prisoner has chosen the prison and he is moving to the prison, and he has no idea, and Daru has no idea why he choose prison, because if he go to prison he will be sentenced to death. And this shows the theme of existentialism and how absurd life is. And when he reaches the school, in the blackboard there is a message written for him: you have turned in our brother, you will pay. It is by the Arabs, saying that you have turned our brother to the prison, now you will have to face the consequences. Camus's revolutionary experiences are portrayed here, and he reflects Camus's, and this story reflects Camus's sense of individual freedom, existential crisis of choosing what is rational and what is irrational is there in this particular work. So rational, what is rational, what is irrational? Going to the nomads was rational, or going to the prison was rational? When he sees that the Arab has chosen to go to the prison, Daru gets in a moral despair. The Arab, the Arab is the representative, like him choosing the prison signifies the absurdity and the despair of human conditions. How despair people are and how absurd life is. For why he should choose prison and he would be sentenced, he decided that he should be sentenced for doing that crime, and he went to the prison. The meaningless and the contradictions of the experiences of life is being said. There can be many contradictions in the experiences and also in our expectations. Sometimes life can be really meaningless. The theme of alienation and existentialism is very prevalent here. How solitude is given, how the Arab man chooses. If he had gone to the nomads, he could have escaped and he could have, but there also lies the danger that one day he will be caught. He will have to live with all those tension in his mind. But he could have escaped, but he chose to move to the police headquarters, and then that shows the absurdity of life. This story is all about choices we make. the choice is made by both the host and the guest. Both the host and the guest. That ambiguity is still remains in the story. So I hope you understood the story. Okay, thank you. Please do subscribe the channel. Okay, thank you.